Hello again, you're with RT now as the Obama administration prepares to hand over the reins to Donald Trump. It has been keen to point out its successes over the last 8 years, although some of the claims made are being questioned. With a closer look, here's kini.
On the way out, the Obama administration is tallying its achievements. Here are a few, according to Secretary of State John Kerry.
Iran nuclear agreement, which is a demonstration, quite simply, of the power of diplomacy to be able to address major international problems short of war. And the result is that we now have the world on our side. We also have progress to report in our own region. Our opening to Cuba after 54 years has strengthened our position throughout the hemisphere. We played a pivotal role in forging a national unity government in Afghanistan.
The deal with Iran, yeah. U.S. opening to Cuba, understood. Afghanistan. What about the reports of the Taliban's resurgence that we've been seeing all year? Secretary Kerry has claimed a substantial progress in the effort to defeat ISIL and dismantle its so-called caliphate. That progress may have come faster had the administration not turned a blind eye to the terrorists at the beginning of the Syrian war, hoping they would bring down Bashar Assad.
And we know that this was growing. We were watching. We saw that Daesh was growing in strength, and we thought Assad was threatened.
The Obama administration cited Libya as one of the conflicts it was trying to end. The country plunged into chaos with extremists gaining foothold after Washington helped remove Muammar Gaddafi. Yemen is also on the list of the administration's efforts to end conflicts. There, the U.S. helped Saudi Arabia and the Arab coalition wage a war that has seen over 10,000 civilians killed, 2.2 million displaced, and nearly 500,000 children on the brink of famine. By the way, President Obama has sold more weapons than any other American president since World War II, according to a Congressional Research Service report. A lot of the weapons went to Saudi Arabia. A dubious achievement for someone who received a Nobel Peace Prize at the very beginning of his presidency.
There were no actions by the Obama administration which justified giving President Obama the Nobel Peace Prize.
The Iran deal?
The Iran deal, these were partial successes, but we have to bear in mind that the Nobel Peace Prize, unlike most Nobel Prizes, is about politics. It is not about real achievement. So it was a political prize for a political purpose. It achieved that. But there was nothing of great historical magnitude which was achieved by the Obama administration.
The so-called reset with Russia definitely did not turn out to be one of the administration's achievements. Under President Obama, the relations between the two nuclear powers hit new lows. He seems to be using his last days in office to make them even worse. In Washington, I'm Ganesh Chekyan, RT.
Now, a prominent Paris newspaper is refusing to use public opinion polls in their coverage of the French presidential elections in 2017. That after pollsters failed to accurately predict the results of the US election and also Brexit. And as Polly Boyko now explains, many doubt any predictions from the organisations.
It won't happen to us. That was what the mainstream media in the US was trumpeting in the wake of Britain's vote to leave the European Union. After the Westminster bubble was blindsided by Brexit, it was the Washington Beltway's turn to be in denial.
Donald Trump doesn't make sense.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
This guy is a complete clown.
A dangerous clown.
He's gotten the appropriate amount of coverage, befitting the seriousness of his candidacy.
Although some were exploring what lessons they could learn from Britain's mistakes.
What's the takeaway for U.S. media as we go forward in this election and having watched what just happened there? Stop predicting the outcomes and rely a little bit more on evidence, and don't just assume that because everyone you know in your elite circles thinks this is a terrible idea, whether it's the election of Donald Trump or Britain exiting from the European Union.
In the weeks before the election, Hillary Clinton was either consistently ahead or on rare occasions level with Donald Trump. Even on election day, the exit polls showed Hillary Clinton winning 4 crucial swing states that ended up going to Trump. And one major US pollster put Clinton's odds of winning at around 72%. We all know what happened next. After failing to call Brexit, the polls had managed to get it wrong again.
One thing we knew from the opinion polls was that this group of non-college educated whites were voting for the Republicans and voting for Donald Trump in unusually high numbers for Republican candidates. So again, the question arose, well, hang on, well, has he therefore going to get people from this group to turn out and vote in a way that they don't usually do? And that may in the end be a crucial explanation as to why the state polls were wrong.
The now US president-elect had a different explanation.
I do think a lot of the polls are purposely wrong. I think I can almost tell you by the people that do it, the media is very dishonest.
Brexit and Trump weren't the only sources of shame for the global polling industry last year. Over in France, the polls failed to predict that François Fillon, considered third in the race in the run-up to the Republican primaries, would end up clinching the presidential nomination and prematurely ending Nicolas Sarkozy's political career in the process. And it wasn't just the electorate that was led up the garden path.
It's fair to say that when we put the odds out for Donald Trump, we were offering 150 to 1 about him winning, so we got that spectacularly wrong. What happened was a lot of people decided to back the outsider because initially the odds looked attractive. So a lot of people will say, I'll have that bet just in case. And this has been the year in which all those just in cases have happened. And as a result, we're wondering how we're about to win that back.
The political calendar for the year ahead is bursting with elections. But perhaps this year voters will be taking experts' predictions with a supersized pinch of salt. Polly Boyko, RT, London.
And that's how things look so far today here on RT. More from me in about half an hour's time. Before that, though, we look at a controversial tradition in parts of Afghanistan. They don't just dance, is next here on RT.